Hello and welcome to our organizational spotlight on Ancient Woods Foundation, who are doing some incredible work in conservation in Lithuania. And I'm super excited to have you here. This cause is very dear to my heart. And before I give too much away, I'm gonna give the floor to Rimantė. Could you briefly introduce yourself, where you're joining us from, and what is your role in the organization?
Thanks, Gabija. Thanks for having me. So yeah, I'm Rimantė. I'm from Vilnius, Lithuania, and northern part of Europe. I'm a board member and coordinator of the Ancient Woods Foundation. We are a non-profit focused on conservation of old-growth forests and biodiversity. So yeah, the organization is almost 4 years old, and I've joined it as volunteer since the beginning. And while my education career is unrelated to environmental scientist, I have swapped my 15 years in IT to join the mission I really care about. So yeah, I have no scientific background in the area, but I work with a huge team of experts. So my role is to ensure organizational development, to keep strategic direction, and all the key activities ongoing. Yeah.
That sounds really, really interesting. And could you, before we dive deeper in the organization, could you briefly describe what is the situation with forests in general in Lithuania?
Yeah, so while in general percentage is pretty good, it's 33% of the Lithuanian area is covered with forests. The key problem is that we have no strictly protected forests. It's only 1.2% of forests in Lithuania that are protected, meaning that cannot be touched, cannot be harvested. So we almost have no protection. Also, we have no forests older than 200 years. It's only the area of 0.0009% of the forests older than 200 years. So it means that we have forests, but they are young or comparatively young or not natural planted. So related problem with that is that we are losing homes to almost 15,000 of species. So yeah, this is why we are focusing to old growth forests.
And what is a old growth forest specifically in a Lithuanian context for those who might know?
Yeah, so how we define it is that old growth forest is multi-age, diverse, naturally restoring forest without any human influence, with at least 2 generations of trees, naturally mature forest, and we are always looking at features typical to primary forest, like plenty of old large trees, plenty of dead wood in various stages of decay. This is very, very important. Also diverse stand composition, abundance of disturbance sensitive species. So those are features we are mainly focusing and looking for.
That's really complex. And how could you tell us more just in general about Savickyte Foundation, the Ancient Woods Foundation? What is your vision?
Yeah, so the aim of the Ancient Woods Foundation is to preserve the old growth forests with all the life in them, and to create like long-lasting examples of sustainable nature, like public forests. So our strategic goals are to find and to buy out the most valuable forests that are still like fragments across Lithuania, and to protect them from negative human impact. Also to set this as the example, as the precedent, both for the society and for the institutions, that it is possible, while probably institutions are not capable to do everything we would expect as society in environmental areas. So we are trying to set the example that we can do that as organization, as people, as society. And of course, the one more important thing is education. So to educate society about the importance of all group forest, about biodiversity, why we should care about that, and yeah, so this is the key vision of us.
That sounds very beautiful and quite ambitious, but very cool to see how interdisciplinary the vision of the foundation is as well. And how did it all start? How did it start?
As I believe almost everything, it starts with one person. So it was one child in love with forest, and later losing it due to clear cutting. So it's our founder Mindaugas. Since childhood, he was taking photos and videos in his lovely forest, willing to show how amazing, how beautiful, interesting nature is. And later on, after 8 years of preparation, 4 years of filmmaking, the movie Ancient Woods was born. The movie actually is available to watch online. So it's like a fairy tale, a puzzle of small remaining pieces of forest, like a home of many inhabitants living their own lives. So after success of this film, the group of people that were preparing it were inspired to take a bold step forward, that people do care, society is interested in this topic, and it's very important for people. So half of revenue from the movie was dedicated to take the next step, the action to buy out the first forest plots to be protected. So this is how we took the next step. A group of people, enthusiasts, formed like, okay, what we're doing next. So this is how the foundation was born. First movie, then the foundation.
I see. Yeah, I've actually seen the movie myself, and it's absolutely beautiful. Honestly, I'm a fan of nature documentaries, but this one was in a whole other level. Maybe it spoke to me on a different level because I am Lithuanian, but I really recommend everyone to watch it. But moving on, I'm really curious, how is the organization's mission succeeding so far?
Yeah, so it's almost 4 years of operation. We have successfully protected currently more than 97 hectares, or 240 acres of the old growth forests. Probably in the global context is not that much. Those are really tiny plots, but as we discuss internally, when you sit on the computer, it looks like small numbers. But when you go there to those forests, when you know that they are safe forever, you just totally understand that it's huge. Each square meter is huge. So I think that we are growing with our impact really successfully. Now it's like 17 different forest plots with woods ranging from 60 to 160 years old, with huge potential in biodiversity, because we are like selecting them very carefully based on 40 plus scientific criteria. So those forest plots are really, really diverse. based on different aspects, and currently there are like 33 habitats designated. So yeah, it's home to rare, to protected species, as well as really abundance of natural deadwood. So this is like about our forest. Also, I think we are really succeeding to reach the public with our message. Several examples, like the term itself, sengirė, which in Lithuanian meaning the old-growth forest, came back to daily usage in public. It was like a disappeared term almost. And now it's in daily usage and even involved in the official European level documents. Also, foundation is being mentioned as the example in the legislative policy debates, just showing that, yeah, we have this kind of precedent, which is successful. So we're really glad being mentioned in positive way. And yeah, similar initiatives emerge, and we get more and more attention. Also, the topic itself gets more and more attention. So I think that we are making the impact. Yeah,
that's really great to hear, and it sounds really cool. One question that I had that I noticed in your mission and vision is that you talk about a lot about preservation, conservation, rather than any other forms of environmental protection, or for example, restoration, what EarthCorps does. And could you tell me why and how this is the central value of Ancient Woods Foundation?
Yeah, it definitely is. So yeah, thanks for this question. Why? Because in Lithuania, we still have those tiny fragments of old natural forests. And we are sure that conservation shall be the primary focus in areas with high biological diversity and high potential for the future, if there's any. It should come first before any other type of action. And we strongly believe that there should be some wild untouched areas. So our key statement at the foundation is that the nature belongs to itself, and it should be allowed to develop without any human influence, where all organisms are equal and no one is thought as harmful. So we believe that there should be some areas that we totally leave to nature. So we like aim not to be the ones who decide whom to live or not. We aim like to protect homes, like habitats for every living creature. So it's like saving a little Noah's Ark for species.
Yeah, that's very beautiful. And it's very interesting how the forests come into foundation's protection. What are the different ways, and could you share some stories?
Yeah, so one of the key activities is for our team to find the most valuable forest plots. As I mentioned, based on some 40+ scientific criteria, to buy out them for the funds raised. So it's a huge part. It's quite a difficult process, actually. But we also involve the public and communities into the process, asking them to recommend the forest. Maybe they're living around, they know some mature old-growth forest. They think we should protect, we should buy out because it's, for example, private and the age is mature, so it's really getting more and more attractive for the harvesting, to sell the timber. So it's really helpful to reach out to the communities. They are really helpful in suggesting the actual forests. Also have some examples of people donating their own forests. So those are situations when they want to make sure that forests are protected for hundreds of years, like longer than they personally could take care of them. Like, okay, they have their willingness to protect that actual forest, for example, old family owned forest, like, but they are not sure what will happen next after them. And we have like already set the organization, the rules, how to do that, how to ensure the protection for the hundreds of years. So this is how they are sure that, okay, it's better way. So the name stays for them, like they can still enjoy that this is their family forests. We even give a name to that forest under the family name, for example. But legal protection becomes different. Yeah,
That's really cool. Also great to see that there are diverse ways that forests can come in to the Care Foundation. And I recently read that even as our organization is so young, the protection of the woods has led to some amazing scientific discoveries. And could you tell the stories and the impact that it actually had on the foundation?
yeah, it's beautiful story about the tiny fungus. Small but important. So yeah, last year, really rare and globally endangered fungus, lavender bospora, was discovered in the forest, recently protected by our foundation. And why this is scientifically important, because it's like important both on national and global levels, because it's like the only known habitat of this fungus in Lithuania and only one of 400 in the world. So it's very rare fungus. And the thing is that this habitat could have been easily destroyed by logging, because we've bought out this forest parcel just in time to save it. Because just close by, another valuable parcel next to it was entirely cut down. So we came just in time, actually also thanks to local community, local people who knew that it's very valuable forest because many rare birds are living there, etc. So this is the example how we like protected the forest that is really, really diverse. And this year we also went there, visited the same tiny mushroom. He's doing well.
Good, good.
So we see really potential. And actually this year we have done the research in the same forest and found out that it was never touched by humans. It's really strange. It's very surprising in our tiny and flat country that has like no very remote wild areas. Maybe in some other countries it's natural for us, for our agriculture country. It was really strange to understand that it was never touched. It's totally naturally restoring forest, and this is why it's very diverse. Yeah, so nice story for us also.
That's really cool. And I'm sure that as the organization grows, there'll be so many more of these fun, unexpected expeditions, may you say. And your organization, the foundation, is entirely volunteer run. How is that going? Could you share some challenges and as well as opportunities that come with it?
Yeah, it's like about 40 volunteers contributing their time and skills, and also more than 20 scientists, biologists, consulting, helping with the scientific topics. We actually are very happy that our team is really diverse, the same as forests we protect. And I'd say that the most beautiful part of it is that it's really full commitment of the team, each taking full responsibility. So we operate quite organically, rather than being strictly governed by a hierarchy or something like that. It really helps with motivation, I would say, each contributing their own way. But of course, drawback is that, I guess it's very common to any environmental NGO, is the risk of burnout, because each is really taking care about the mission, and they do care about what's happening. So it's really hard just to, okay, I don't care, I just need some rest. So risk of burnout and of course unpredictability of some resources when you are mostly volunteer based organization. Yeah, but actually, as we are not very actively involved in doing the job in the forests, we just protect them, making sure that there's no harm in there. It is really okay, it is possible to take some rest, right? Because mostly we are doing jobs on the computers, like any other organization worldwide.
Yeah, it's great to hear that it's working out well and has the potential to move forward. And what were your goals for this year? How is it going, or are you on track to reach them? Because you had quite ambitious ones.
Yeah, we had the goal to reach 100 hectares of protected forests this year, so we have almost reached that. And with one more purchase happening next week, I think we'll nail it. Of course, not everything is about the forest plots, but this was our goals. We are really excited that we were able to do that. Also, with the National Deposit System Administrator, we have just launched a countrywide campaign encouraging people to return cans, plastic, glass bottles marked with deposit symbol, and instead of taking back deposit money, donate it to the foundation. And it was really a great video created by the agency, and is attracting many attention now. So it's a way to attract everyone, like nationwide, to show that each can contribute. Even a small kid can take the bottle, return it, and this way to contribute to the preservation. So we are really expecting a high reach for this campaign.
That's really cool, and to see that honestly, like the whole country is slowly but surely being impacted and taken into the activities of the foundation is really cool to hear. And as we're slowly running out of time, I still would love to ask you, how did you appeal and connect it to the general public and gain their trust and support, since it's such a big part of the foundation's work?
Yeah, thanks for the question. It's really important how we started. So yeah, first of all, it was a huge work done preparing to kick off with the organization before we even launched. It was work, statutes of organization were drafted very, very carefully with many safeguards to ensure that organization exists for hundreds of years. It's the aim of everything we do. Also to ensure that the forests are protected like forever. It's like public good, cannot be sold, cannot be harvested, no personal gain for any team member or whatever. So all the safeguards focused on the forest protection. And other thing, of course, was to craft a strong brand identity involving all the key scientists, biologists, inviting public figures to join, so the public would trust since the launch, since the beginning, that we would just start strongly. And now, of course, our key goal is to be totally transparent, as the reputation is only thing we have. So we have to work really hard to keep that trust of the public. Yeah.
Yes, that's really inspiring. In general, the whole conversation has been really inspiring, and I really want to thank you for your time, for being here and joining us today, and sharing about the tiny Lithuania and the tiny plots of old growth forest that you're protecting. It's really cool. And are there any last words or advice for listeners?
Well, thanks for inviting me. Yeah, what I would say, preserving nature starts with knowing it. And I really invite to enjoy it fully whenever you are in the forest. Let's enjoy it. Let's love the nature, and I think it will make the impact. Yeah. Thanks, Gabija.